So the first thing we need to do is go to Google and get into your Office 365 account. So you can click the link and then go to sign in. You will need to use your school email address and it will ask for your usual password. So once we're into Office, you need to go to the grid of dots in the top left hand corner and then click on Excel and create a new blank workbook. We're going to set up a simple spreadsheet, but one that will use all of the most common functions. First thing is for us to label our columns, so if we click into cell A1 and we're just going to type in there A, and then let's really just use your arrow keys to go across there, and B, and then we're going to put in our basic functions: add, take, times, and divide. So we're going to do addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. We're then also going to use a sum, and we're going to use an average function. So now amongst these, let's just put in some simple numbers. And the same then in column B. And now we're ready then to go on to enter our formula. So we always start with an equals, and then we're going over to our first number. Click on that and it will put in the cell reference for us. Add our second number, press enter. If you go back to that cell now, to save us having to do it again, we go to the bottom right hand corner and you can see how the cursor changes. So that's the replicator, and we can then drag the replicator down. So similar for this one, it's going to equal column A minus column B. Back up, and you can try double clicking on the replicator as long as you've got something to the side of it which will show it how far down to go. So times equals A2 times B2, and back up again, and let's replicate. Same for divide. So on these functions then we're going to type in equals sum and open a bracket, and then we're going to highlight all of these. So it's important when you're highlighting, don't click and let go. You need to click, hold the mouse down until you've finished highlighting. Even if you go wrong and you go off that, just keep the mouse button held down until you get to the area you wanted to highlight. Always close the bracket, press enter. And then on to average, so equals, you can type in equals average, or you can type in AV and then find average and double click that, and we want the average just up to column F. Down here then we're going to put, so I'm going to put the grand total. Now if you notice, it's kind of going into that next column, so if we go in between two column headings, we can just resize that slightly. So for the grand total we're going to add everything that we've got there. So again, it's another sum function, so equals sum, and this time let's highlight everything in there and close the bracket. A little bit of tidying up now. I've got a lot of decimal places on some of these, I've got one on those. So what I'll do with that is, let's highlight everything apart from the titles, and then if we go up here to the number format there, so we could change it to different types of numbers, currencies, and it's this one that we want, the decimal places. So to start with, just pick one of them and then go to the decimal places that you want, so they'll both go each way. So let's have all of those at 2 decimal places. Highlight everything. So over here we've got our formatting, So our fonts, sizes, bold and italics, and we want this one, the borders, and we're going to pick the all borders there. This one, let's go back and put on a thick outside border. So finally then we're just going to add some colours to our columns. So we're going to highlight first column and we're going to use the background fill colours here, and then we can just do the same for the others. When you're doing these, try to stick to the colours towards the top end, otherwise you'll find that when you print something the colours are too dark to show up your black text correctly. So just keep highlighting those until we get our range of colours. As always, in Office 365, this is saved as you go along, but the computer is choosing the name, so don't leave it just with that one. So I'm going to click on there and then give that a new file name.